In this video segment, we will go over the data entry procedure on Filemaker for the utility employee designated to the winder at Global Felt Technologies.
When you begin your shift, the first thing to do is sign into your account name in Filemaker. If the employee from the previous shift is still logged in, click the Logout button on the bottom right side of the screen. After doing this, a window will appear in the middle of the screen asking for your account name and password. You will enter in your 3-digit code that you use to clock in as your account name and password. When keying in numbers into multiple fields, the simplest way to do it is to use the number keys on the right side of the keyboard. When you go to the next field, instead of using the mouse, use the Tab key on the left side of the keyboard. This will make your data entry process much easier in the long run. Once you are logged in, the main menu screen will appear. The only section that you will ever have to go into as a production employee is the production screen. There will be times that we will utilize the Resource Center section as well for learning new skills and procedures on the line, but we will discuss that in a later video. Once you're in the production screen, you will see at the top the current shift that you are on, a drop-down menu for which line you are working on, and what job you are currently assigned to. Select your line and the list for available work orders will appear in front of you. Next, scroll down and search for the work order that has the status of open. Once you see that work order, click the Select key on the right side of the arrow.
You are now in the winder screen. The winder screen is where we document all finished products made on our lines. Notice at the top of the screen you will see the work order ID, customer name, and product ID. You will also see the total amount of linear yards for the work order and how many yards and rolls are remaining. This is how we can keep up with how much longer until the work order is complete. You will also see on the right side of the screen the designated parameters of this product that we are running and their required specs. Keep in mind when we are running any product that it is important to stay within these given parameters to achieve first quality material. It is also critical to pay attention to the spec information of the product that includes width, length, tube size, and film color. There will also be a section on the right side of the screen that tells us our testing frequency and what type of testing needs to be done on the product. The center of the screen is where you will enter in your data for each roll once they are complete and doffed. For every roll that is produced, there is a timestamp of when it was made, a sequence number showing how far into the work order the roll was created, and an inventory ID number, which is the number the roll is assigned to on a label. All the gray fields will automatically be generated when you enter in your data. The white fields will be entered in manually. Also notice that in some fields will be highlighted green. That indicates to the winder employee that a sample needs to be cut from that roll for the operator to do testing. The first thing you will do once the roll is docked is select the next available row to enter your data in. Once you click this row, a window will appear and an automatic timestamp will generate, giving us an accurate time of when the roll was produced. Now that the roll is on the scale, document the weight of the roll. If the product is only producing 1 roll per doff, you will enter in the exact amount of pounds that the scale reads. If there are multiple rolls per doff, divide the number of pounds by the number of rolls using a calculator. For example, if there are 3 rolls per doff and the scale reads 300 pounds, each roll will be documented as 100 pounds. Next, select the Tab key, and it will ask you for the length of the roll in terms of yardage. The system will automatically default the length to what is listed in the spec, but you are able to change this number if the length of the roll is less than the spec yardage. Select the Tab key and it will ask for width. Again, the width measurement will automatically default to the spec, but always make sure you verify, just in case. Select the Tab key and enter in the diameter measurement of the roll in terms of inches. Select the Tab key one more time and it will ask for roll type. If the product is full yardage according to the length spec and passes all the parameters, select First Quality. If the product does not reach full length but passes all other parameters, select First Quality Short Roll. If the product does not pass parameters but is able to be reclaimed, select Non-Conforming. And if the product does not pass and cannot be reclaimed, select Waste. Once you have everything filled out, the OPSI field will auto-populate. OPSI stands for ounces per square yard. That is a key weight measurement for the felt making process, and being within the correct OPSI parameters is critical. If your OPSI or diameter measurements are out of their spec, the fields will highlight red to alert the operator to make the necessary changes. Now that everything is correctly documented, close out the data entry window and select the print button on the row that you just entered your data into. You now have a label generated that you will be able to apply to the finished roll. If there are multiple rolls on the same doff, repeat the same data entry process on the remaining rolls. On the bottom of the winder screen, you will see grand totals calculating the total sum of pounds and yards produced throughout the work order. There is also a checklist option at the bottom of your screen. Be sure to fill out this checklist throughout your shift and be attentive on the assigned task at the given times. If you have any further questions about the winder screen or any procedures about the production process, please contact your operator or supervisor. This concludes the data entry process on FileMaker for the utility employee designated to the winder at Global Felt Technologies.